All right. Again, good morning, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is a meeting of the DuPage County Ethics Commission for Wednesday, June 12th, October 9th, is it, or is it the 8th? Yeah, October 9th. As you get old, these days sort of go a lot faster. October 9th, 2024. If I could have the roll call, please.
Member Dimling,
Present.
Member Benson, Member Callahan, Cahalan, Member Clement, and Member Donner.
All right, we have a quorum, and as such, we'll proceed. At this point in time, I'm going to ask that if there is any public comment, and actually seeing no members of the public present, it appears not. As far as my remarks, the one thing I mentioned to Commissioner Benson when we were walking in, this is a type of a commission where no news is good news. And I have no news for us as it relates to any updated information. At this point in time, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes from our past meeting. All right, any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? The minutes are approved. Old business. Oh, which is that? Oh, the meeting schedule for the next calendar year. Yeah, is there a motion? Have you all had an opportunity to, first of all, is there a motion to approve? Commissioner Donner, second. Commissioner Benson, any discussion? Have you all had an opportunity to review it? Any issues with respect to any lack of availability on those dates? In that event, I'd entertain a motion to approve the meeting schedule for the calendar year of 2025. Is there a second? Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it. The Ethics Commission meeting schedule is approved. The next one is old business ethics training update in terms of where we are.
Talking makes sense, right? Yep. All right. Compliance from the departments is good, and we had the the county board had their ethics training a couple meetings ago, and that seemed to go well. So things are moving forward. The software is being well received, so we're in good shape. So stay for that. Jason did a very good job making sure that compliance was taken care of before I took over. So 2025 is going to be the year that we're pushing this forward. But the feedback we've gotten on the software transition has been very, very good. I mean, I think it's going well. We don't have anyone here for anything, so that's a good sign. But I do think that ultimately, interested in hearing with the new business for the 2025, if there's anything you guys would like to see in the training that would help augment what we're already doing, that would be helpful guidance.
complaint with respect to that. Invariably, in fact, every time so far this year, the complaints have been outside of our jurisdiction. They've been issues that we are not covered under the ordinances. With respect to that, I think a lot of people believe if they have a complaint about something and they don't know where to go, they send us a letter. And the IG responds to that. Invariably, it's again outside of our jurisdiction. And to his credit, I'll say he's very informative to people as to where they possibly can go with respect to their issues, because people have issues, for instance, and now it hasn't happened this year, but from something near and dear to my heart is that anytime somebody has a complaint with the judiciary, they will inevitably file something here. And of course, we have no jurisdiction over the judiciary, but there are places that do, so they go to those venues, but inevitably, the issues are well beyond our jurisdiction. Yeah, and it happens, but again, what I have to commend, and I didn't intend to, but I might as well, our Inspector General is that it's very good about saying, this is the issue you are presenting. This is outside of our scope and our jurisdiction. However, there is this avenue for you to proceed if you'd like to, and that's it. So it's not like, and again, we don't just sort of shove it off and say, not our problem, this isn't our issue. We respond to it. Yeah. No, because these are all public, actually, I'll give you an example that I just cited, and that hasn't happened this year. But it has happened in the past, that there is a venue if you have an objection as it relates to something that happens in the legal system. There's a particular venue for that, both for lawyers and for judges. But it's not under our jurisdiction to address those types of issues. And there are other things.
Oh, it's not. Oh, should I start over? Anyways, what I try to do, what the chairman was saying, what I try to do is figure out or determine where this person should send the complaint. And then I either just inform them of that and I tell them, if you want me to send it, forward it. There's some instances where I can't do that, but I usually try to be as informative as I can, let them know, where they can send their complaint to, or where they will get the best result.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. I'm curious to know if you ever get inquiries from people maybe who work in this building, or work in a county building, but aren't under our jurisdiction. Is it that, or is it members of the public?
It can be either, and
Okay.
it probably has been both. I couldn't
Yeah.
think specifically. I know I've gotten both over the last 2.5 years. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll get a formal complaint. Sometimes I'll get an email. It's very possible that our ethics advisor, Mr. Hanlon, gets inquiries. He's more set up to handle inquiries, and he will provide advice if requested in the form of a written opinion, that kind of thing.
I'm just thinking that, let's say someone who's an employee in this building, but is not under our jurisdiction. We really don't have any authority to do any kind of training for the people who fall outside of our jurisdiction. To help them understand we're not the appropriate place. The sense I'm getting is we're better off just to handle it on a case by case basis.
I think ultimately, yeah, I mean, there's no way you can train people who are
Exactly.
not under the jurisdiction. I
That's
think
right.
everybody,
Exactly.
right, right. If you're an employee in DuPage, you're under the jurisdiction. But that doesn't mean the complaint that you're making is about something, it's a very narrow gauntlet that has to be run. It has to be, against someone who is under the jurisdiction of the ordinance. It has to be a subject matter that's under the jurisdiction of the ordinance. So we have not seen it yet. So
Can I follow up on that? I'm
Yes.
just kind of curious in that context, it does strike me that while our jurisdiction is our jurisdiction, the educational programs that we're doing are geared to help people understand what the rules are and that they should follow and the principles they should follow. Should we be talking at least to everybody else that has some jurisdiction about providing some kind of roadmap for somebody who has a problem with the county to know where they should be going?
Well, sometimes these aren't necessarily problems with the county. Let me give you an example. It's something I'm making up. It's not something that's
Okay.
happened. But say, for instance, I have a problem with an attorney that I'm working with, and that attorney happens to be on the county board or something like that. I might write a letter saying, this attorney isn't acting the way I think attorneys should act. Well, that's fine, but we don't have jurisdiction over that. The ARDC might have jurisdiction over
Right.
that. So the appropriate venue would be the ARDC, not the DuPage County Ethics Commission. That's what we see sometimes. Sometimes I
sometimes
think
about-
we might see an employee that has an issue that's not covered under the ethics ordinance and as well. But it's I've seen over, and it's not just the last year or two, but it's all the years that I've been on. What I've seen is usually members of the public that have a complaint about something and they don't necessarily know where to go. And again, our training is set up to the employees of the county and also, I guess, the city, the city of Aurora too, because we're doing their training as well. But not necessarily to the citizenry as a whole. And that's where I see a lot of it is that while that example is not something that has happened necessarily, it's just something that I make up, and there might be something else. If for instance, there's an issue with an engineering firm that they've had, and that engineering firm is being used by the county and they send it to us, it may be outside of our jurisdiction. Got it.
I have one other question, which is, Jeremy, you're talking about the fact that we're not seeing anybody as evidence that the education is working. I guess what I'm wondering is the number of people going to you, does that indicate that we need to do something more? But the people you're all seeing are not folks within our training program, right?
I would say there's probably a few who have been in the training. Again, I can't think specifically. Most of them are not. So as I stand here, I don't know how you would be able to disseminate information. I mean, the ordinance is out there. Anybody can look at it. And I think there's a good explanation on the website about jurisdiction and what's covered. So I think it's more along the lines of people don't, aren't sure what they're looking at. So they just send a complaint in. And again, I will try to be as informative as I can in responding and letting them know where I think they can get a better result or an actual result.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions on the training program? Thanks very much. Any other new business that any might have? Any questions, comments? Yeah, okay, from a staff perspective, anything? Uh,
As we do the 2025 trainings, I'll make sure you guys know like what the compliance rate with the trainings for the folks that are under our our authority within, or under our ordinance within the building. So we'll be open with those numbers, but we have, for the people who are required to take it, they are taking it. So you're there.
and I think our February meeting is gonna be before all the requirements for our state filings are due. We can remind everybody. February meeting. So I think we're good. All right. Anything else? I feel like when I do weddings, speak now or forever hold your peace. All right, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Second. All right, thank you. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? We are now adjourned. Thank you very much.